Welcome back, all my real ones. Thank you so much for tuning back in. I really appreciate it. If you don't know who I am, you're not a real one already, my name is daljiimarax, and on this channel I recreate makeup and hair looks done on A-list celebrities by the world's top makeup artists and hairstylists, as well as some really bomb wig transformations. So if this sounds like your type of content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you know you want to, and you know you're going to keep up with the content. Like, you know you're trying to see what's next. Go ahead, hit the button. All right, so let's get into this. So today I'm going to be making a lace frontal curly wig. When I tell you, I'm so happy that I did this, and this was so fun, and I really learned a lot from it. So I know like the upcoming wigs that I'm going to be doing in the future is going to be like so much better and so much easier and more efficient. But yeah, so this wig is a lace front that I made. The hair is from Beauty Forever. As you can see, the curls are absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love them. I have two 20 inches, a 18, a 16, and then a 16-inch frontal. I have a 13x4 frontal. I have a dome cap on, and yeah, so this is basically all that I was needed as far as to get the wig popping. The hair is very, very long. It's, like I said, it's 20 inches. Well, not very, very long, but you know, long enough. It's very full. Like, at first when I was making the wig, I was like, I'm not going to use all 4 of these bundles. I did. It's full all the way to the front, to the lace front, like from the front to the back. So if you guys are interested in how I make this lace front, this is super beginner friendly, super simple. It will take time, but we're going to get into that in the video. So if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. Alright, so here's all the products that I'm using for the tutorial, from the blow dryer to the dye bowls and brushes, the hair brush that I'm using, the shampoos, conditioners, hair products, curly hair products, the Wig Head. What else do I have? I have bolt hold, adhesive, bleaching powder, wig caps, dome caps, combs, clips. This is everything that you're going to need to make this wig. So with that being said, all the details will be in the description box below, but this is everything you will need to make a lace front. Here are the bundles that I have from Beauty Forever. I have the Malaysian curly. I have two 20 inches, a 18 inch, a 16 inch, and then a 16-inch frontal. Now first, you definitely want to start off by bleaching the knots on the lace front. So I'm mixing developer and bleach together, and I'm just doing it until it's kind of the consistency of like a custard. It needs to be really thick, because if it's runny, then it'll seep through the lace, and then you'll have blonde roots, and that's not cute unless you like that look. But you don't want that, so make sure it's really, really thick. So if you was to take like a spoon or something and tip it over, it needs to kind of like drop and not like spill and drip. You know what I'm saying? If you need more info on that, let me know in the description box below. But you know, just mix it up so I get the right texture that I need. And like I said, a thick custardy texture. And I'm just eyeing. I'm not really like measuring anything. So next, I'm taking a knife, because a knife is going to be more gentle, and then like a brush, and it's going to be less likely that it'll get through the lace front. So I'm taking a knife and using a very, very light hand and going over the entire lace front. I haven't washed this hair. I haven't done anything to this whole lace front. So this is straight out the package, bleaching the knots. So this is how we do this, okay? So making sure that this is nice and lathered, a nice thick layer so you can't see anything. But you know, make sure you're using a light hand, okay? Don't want any accidents, don't want any blonde roots. It's not cute, okay? Not cute at all, okay? But I won't judge if you like that look, okay? I promise I won't. So as you can see, it's just nice and lathered on top. Yes, we love that. Come on, natural roots. It needs to grow out your scalp, okay? It needs to be going out of your scalp. Okay, now we're gonna take our first clarifying ion shampoo. So what I did here is put on warm water. I put a bucket in my sink just because I didn't want hair all up in my drain. And then I put about 2-3 pumps in there. And then I'm just taking my first 20-inch bundle and lathering up. Now while I'm doing this, the bleach on the lace front is still, you know, getting bleached. It's still on there, so I haven't washed that off. So while I'm doing this bundle, I'm taking my Tangle Teezer brush and lathering it through it, getting, you know, brushing through it, making sure, you know, all that shampoo is nice and lathered up in there, so that your hair is nice and squeaky clean to put on your head. And might I add, that freaking Tangle Teezer brush is the best freaking curly hair brush I've ever had in my whole life. You know, most like paddle brushes and stuff have like those balls on the end. Gross. So now I'm taking my what am I taking? My conditioners, and I am doing the same thing I just did with the shampoo. So I washed out that bowl, took the shampoo, and basically putting the conditioner all up on it to make sure it's nice and moisturized, and then I set it to the side and let the conditioner sit. Then after I did 2 bundles, I took the lace front and washed all of the hair off, washed all of the bleach off, and then took a purple shampoo and washed that on, lather that all up on the lace front so I can get rid of the brassiness. So, you know, and then I did the same thing, shampooed it, you know, brushed through it with the brush, and then put conditioner in it and let it sit to the side. After I did all that to the bundles, I took my boho wig tint and tinted the lace front while it was still like damp. At this point, I let it sit for about an hour and it was damp. So this is day one. Day one, I just washed the hair. Now it's on to make the lace front. So this is the wig head I have from GX. It'll be in the description box below how to get it. I'm taking my dome cap and I'm pulling it back. You don't want to leave it like directly on top of it, because that's not how your head is, the wig is going to be on your head. So you want to lift it and pull it back some. Now this is the most important part for the lace front application. When you're putting the lace front on the dome cap, you want to make sure you are pulling it down some. Do not leave the lace front directly where the dome cap edges meet, because it will not fit right on your head. It's not going to fit on your head. It's not going to fit on your head. Pull it about 1 inch further from the cap and then pin that down, and then make that your guide to pin the end of it down, and then you pull the sides down and pull those down. When it comes to doing the sides, you make sure you don't pull it back so that the edge of the lace front meets it. You want to make sure you just pull it down sideways. So don't pull it back to the wig. It needs to be downward, because that, at the end of your wig, what that'll do is that'll be the part that you have to cut off. If you pull it back, you won't be able to cut off, and it's not going to fit right on your head. It's not going to look like this, like it's not going to be right. So make sure you just pull it downward. You just like flatten it down, pull it down. Do not pull that thing back so that it can just be all the way on the cap. No, it's supposed to have some hanging on the side, because that'll be how you measure it once you put it on your head. So once you do that, you pin all that down, and that'll be the guide for your wig, okay? And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, this took me a couple tries before I got it right, because I did not want to go on to make this wig and then this lace front portion wasn't on there right. So in the bundles is easy, but the lace front, you want to take your time with that. You got to keep doing it over and over until you feel like it's a nice amount of space between the dome cap and the lace, then do that. Do not rush with this, making this wig. You do not want to mess this up. This is very time consuming. Do not do that. So what I first started doing was sewing like 2 rows of the first 20-inch bundle. I do have lines on here, but ignore that. I thought that was going to help me, but it didn't do anything. So just act like the lines aren't there, because it wasn't doing anything for me. So one of the most important parts about when it comes to this back bundle, do not, I repeat, do not seek the needle through the elastic band, because that will mess up the elasticity of the wig and it'll be looser on your head and it won't fit right. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you are going right above the elastic band. You don't start on the elastic band, you start right above it. Trust me, it's still going to be more than enough space. You're not going to lose any space doing that. Do not sew on the elastic band. Don't mess up I promise you, if you mess this wig up, it's going to take forever to try to go back and fix it. So like I said, do make sure you just skip the elastic part and start above it. But I am going to say, once I'm going up the wig, I'm sewing on not the elastic band, but the layer above it. That's like, you know how it's like wrapped around it and sewn around. So the elastic band is inside of the cap. So I sew above that layer, on that first layer, but I make sure I'm not sticking the needle through the elastic band, through the bottom and around, just on the top of it. If you can feel it around that way, then it'll be good. So once I did about 2 rows, I went on to the lace front portion of this wig, sewing it on. So what I did is I started in the middle, sewed down the side, started it in the middle, sewed down the other side. This was the best way to do that, because the front is really secure because how you got it, you know, tied down. So make sure when you come to sew on this lace front portion, make sure it's real flat and not moving. As you see, I'm taking my good old time and making sure that this is nice and tight and secure. So once I get the lace front on it, it's time to go back into the bundle. So let me explain to you how I sewed the bundles on there. So with the first bundle, I just did it one row and then the next one row, the next row. The second row, I did it the other way. So I would do one row, double it, and then go up one. Another row, double it, and then go up one. Another row, double it, and go up one until that bundle was done. The third bundle, the 18-inch bundle, I doubled that entire bundle. So it's kind of really full in the middle, which is how you want it. So like I said, the first bundle, I did not double anything. I just did it, what would I want to say? Like row by row on the first bundle. Second bundle, I did one row, then double the next row, one row, then double the next row, one row. The third bundle, I doubled each row. Doubled it. And then the last one up top, I did the same thing that I did with the second bundle. I would double it and then do one row. Double it, do another row. Double it, do another row. And then as I got like halfway through that bundle, I would just do one row at a time so it wouldn't be super thick. And then at the top could be very flat. So that's how you want to kind of see what works for you. But that method works really well because I was able to use all of the hair on my wig. And it is very full. So I think because I did that method, all the hair, all 4 bundles fit on my wig. Had I did singled every single row, it probably wouldn't have. And there's not a lot of space in between each row, whether they were doubled or singled. Like this hair is full and there's no space in between it really. Like barely my whole finger can fit through each row. So I wefted them really close and it's really full, but not like crazy looking, you know? So that's how I did that one. If you want to know how I did it again, just rewind that. And then once I got to the last portion of the bundle, I sewed the lace fronts in the last bundle together. So I would go underneath the bundle weft and then go through the lace front, go up through the lace front. So I would go underneath the lace front through the cap and then go up through the lace front so that they're connected together and there is no space between the two. So watch it so and that really like explains what I mean. So through the weft and up through the lace front. And just repeated that along that whole thing so that there's no space and you can't see the wig cap when you put it on. So now the wig is done and it's time to sew it on. So what I'm doing now is just flipping it inside out to see the wefts and see how it's looking nice and clean. So after that, I cut the wig part, the dome cap portion underneath the lace front so you can put the lace front on. So you want to cut close, but not close enough that you'll like loosen up the thread. So get close, but not too close to the thread. So just try to cut as straight as you can and as close as you can to the thread without cutting it off. Because then if you do that, then the lace front will get loose and then you just did all this for nothing. Application, like it's so bomb. The hair is like enormous before you wash it or do anything to it. Like it's so gorgeous, so pretty. So it's time to style that thing, okay? Period. Before I style it, I just put it on my head just to see what it looks like. You know how does it fit on my head, all that good stuff. Just doing that, checking it out, see if I like it. Just spend a whole day doing this. Like this is day 2. The washing was day 1. This is day 2 of just making it. Then day 3 is when I actually applied the wig, because this was taking forever, okay? Also, in the future, when you make a wig, make sure you have like 10 to 15 C needles. Rethreading them things took forever. It was so time consuming. I would have chopped up so much more time had I already had a couple more needles threaded. I only had 2. So I have about 10 to 15. They're very, very inexpensive, so you should be good. Next, I'm just wetting the hair up, bringing the, popping Malaysian curls back to life. And this hair looks so pretty. It didn't shed crazy, which was a good thing. It wasn't getting super matted and nasty. Like this hair texture, beauty forever. Y'all did that. Y'all did that, okay? This hair is so bomb. Just pushing the hair back after I wet the whole thing. And now it is time to bleach the knots. So when it comes to curly hair, you do not want to be obsessive when you come to, I said bleach the knots, you do not want to become obsessive when it comes to plucking the frontal. I do have a more in-depth how I pluck my frontals already. If you want to know how I do that, then check out that video in the description box below. It'll give you full detail. But like I was saying, when it comes to curly hair, do not over pluck, because one, curly hair is automatically going to shed more than straight hair because it's curly. Like when you comb it and brush it through it, it's getting caught. It's just more maintenance. So naturally, curly hair is going to just come out more. So if you super over pluck it, your lace front's not going to last that long. And you don't want to have a balding lace front on a new lace front, because that's trash. So make sure you're taking, just enough so it's not look like no straight line, but you don't have to pluck it too much. This line, this lace front hairline wasn't like ridiculously unnatural looking. So that's the good thing about that. You want your baby hair, so you can't have no baby hairs if you ain't got no hairline. The hair products that I'll be using, the first is going to be from Beyond the Zone. So this is a really, really bomb curly hair cream that I really, really love so much. And I don't even know how to, describe this consistency, but it's so bomb It's almost like a thick foam. That's how I kind of like think of it. It's really, or like a thick mousse. And it's low-key like moisturizing. Like this didn't make my hands super sticky like a lot of curly hair creams do. So if you have curly weave, I definitely recommend this brand. I got it from Sally's. They regularly have sales to my knowledge. They had one when I used this. So I highly recommend this brand. It's really, really good. And it smells bomb. Who doesn't love that? So I'm just sectioning it down the middle and then splitting it into 4 sections. And that's how I'm distributing the product all on the wig. And then after I did that, I went over it and brushed it back with my Tangle tweezer brush. Just brushed all the hair back. And it's not, getting caught up in the brush. This brush is so bomb. Oh my gosh, best $14 I ever spent. So using the Tangle Teezer brush and just brushing all the curls back. Look how pretty it is. And then I'm taking the Beyond the Head Noodle Head mousse. This is also a really, really good mousse. Really love the mousse. This was my first time using it. And I recommend whenever I actually do my hair, wet it and all that good stuff, put the mousse on, hair looks flawless the whole day. So make sure y'all get y'all some mousse, boo. Alright, now it's time to install the wig. This portion of the video is going to be a little bit rushed because I already have a video on how I install my lace front wig, so I went into super detail. This video was about making the lace front. So if you want super detail about how to apply it and all that good stuff, you'll definitely have to check out the video before that, and it'll be in the description box below. So with that being said, boo-boo, I'm putting my wig cap on, make sure I'm gluing this thing down, making sure it's nice and tight, nice and right, boo. Because we want our wig to look like it's growing out of our scalp, okay? I mean, a wig is gonna look like a wig. If you're close enough, you're gonna tell it's a wig, but don't be all that close, okay? Back up some. So just sewing down. So I'm basically just, gluing down the cap to protect the edges. We have to have edges when we don't have our wig on, okay? Hair underneath need to be bomb. And I'm using, this Remington blow dryer, which is bomb for this process, and it was only like $22 at Target. Like, come on now, you can't do that. Make sure when you are gluing down wigs and caps and all that stuff, you always using a blow dryer on cool air. Always cool air, or it's just gonna mess up the whole process, and it's not actually gonna dry. It's just gonna be sticky. You don't want that. And then, I do it section by section when it comes to gluing my wig on. And I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I'm just be honest with you guys for right now. When you do the bowl hold, you want longer wear. You use 3 layers and wait till each layer turns clear. I was impatient at this point. I was very, very sleepy. I got up early in the morning to do this before I had my afternoon shift at work. And I was kind of rushing, and I was trying to take a nap before I went to work. And don't be like me, because it ended up drying. I ended up like putting a wig on and all that before it was completely clear, and I had to cover it up with makeup the best way I could, to cover up the whiteness, so it didn't get completely wet. So like I said, I did 3 layers. Wait till they get clear. Make sure they're thin layers. Wait till they get clear. Put the wrap on, blow dry it on cool, and then take it off, cut off all the flaps, and then you're ready to style your wig and wear it. Like I said, it's a detailed video on how I install my wig already on my channel, so check that out. And I'm gonna be honest, when you come to installing your wig, don't be like me and rush, but definitely give yourself at least an hour. I would say this is at least just the installation portion. Give yourself at least an hour, okay? See, looking trifling. Didn't even let it get clear, okay? So I decided to do a middle part for this look and then added some baby hairs. I'm not good at baby hair, so that's why you didn't see me go with detail. Like, the baby hair process probably took me longer than the installation. But yeah, doing baby hairs on a wig is just so much harder than doing it like on your natural hair. I don't know why. But you know, this is the final look, boo. Alright guys, so that was basically how I made this lace front. Like I said, you guys want to take your time when you are making wigs. I would say have at least 2 full days that you could work on this. Like, if you don't have a 2 full days, definitely do on it day by day. Like I said, I washed the hair one day, and then the next day I let it dry, and then the next time I worked on the wig, I thought I was going to be able to make the wig, style the wig, and install it in one day. No, this wig took me, like, I finished like the whole season of Love Island wearing this making this freaking wig. So like I said, this was my first time making a lace front, and this was my first time wearing them. But now that I've done it, I know like in the future it's not going to take me that long, because I was like, trying to really pace myself and take my time, because I didn't want to have to redo this over again. I have longer nails, so it is kind of, hard to get really up in there. And I would definitely have more C needles and thread, because having to redo that over and over again, that took so long. Like, I would at least have 10 next time I do that. Have 10 threaded needles already ready to keep going, because that was very, very time consuming. And also, it just like, I took my time, but I'm happy that I did that. I didn't mess up. The wig fits perfect on my head. Like, when I tell you, this thing is snug, even without the glue and me installing it, it's snug. Like, this is really good. This is a really snug. I don't got that big of a head, so the dome cap worked, and moving it up a little bit worked. So if this video was very helpful and you want more wig transformations in the future, you have to subscribe. I don't know why you ain't do it at the beginning of the video when I told you to, because if you came all the way here, clearly you was feeling the video. Clearly you was learning, it was informative, it was educational, you was feeling it. So with that being said, don't go nowhere. Go ahead and check out the videos in this playlist, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, boom. Peace.